Hello again, it's Jolene. Welcome back to the Home Stitchery Decor YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jolene. I am from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I sell modern farmhouse home decor, and I teach all kinds of what I do right here on my YouTube channel. And these are my reading glasses, so those have to go because I can't even see the camera. But today's been a busy day. We've recently had a whole bunch of stuff going on at our house, which I'll get into in a minute, but I wanted to make as many videos as possible today in a shorter time frame because I got notified that our cousin is going to be in these volleyball championship finals for universities in Canada at, I believe it's 5 o'clock our time in Alberta. So I want to get my work done. So anyway, this video is going to be super quick, but I want to have some fun. I don't know if you can see behind me. I've got the spin to win wheel up again. Fantastic. Going to have some fun here. If you haven't been to the channel before, make sure that you hit the bell button, like, subscribe, all those kind of fun things so you get notified of when I pop up a new video. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys first off about a couple of things that's been going on at my house, and then I want to talk to you about a couple of things that's going on with my business, and then we're gonna do the fun stuff at the end of the video, so make sure you stay to the end of the video. So some of you have been here for a long time, and you may have seen a video where I had a patch on my eye, and that was because I had a detached retina and had emergency surgery on December 9th. So what happened with that was I was actually at a Christmas market. It was my second last day of Christmas markets, and I noticed my eye had gone partially black. So there was like a hood on it. So if I put my finger down like this finger I could see way up here, and this finger I could only see like when it started down here when I was looking forward. So terrifying to say the least. And I, Googled all my symptoms while I was at this market, and it was out of town, and yeah, not a good situation. Ended up going to the hospital. They said, hey, go home for the night. And then the next morning they said you had to be back here at like 7:30 in the morning. Don't lift anything strenuous, all that kind of fun stuff. But I still had to get my market going. So my husband, who's not in that great of health either, he had to go out and run the market for the day. And then we had some friends go and pack it up for us because it was just crazy. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, the night before, just when I got out of emergency, I had to come home, train him how to use a POS system. And it was super, super, super stressful. And anyway, he finished my last day of the markets, and he actually put in $20 more than I had the Sunday before at the same market. So he's got some bragging rights for that. Okay, so the eye has been slowly healing, and it'll be at the best it's going to be in 6 months from now. I did have a previous injury to the eye many years ago where I had a piece of concrete go through my eyeball, which is not good. Don't ever do it. Had a huge hole in my eye. So the fact that they've saved it twice is actually a freaking miracle. And I just want to shout out to the surgeons that have done it now twice, because holy crap, that's amazing. Okay, so then my work is kind of sporadic right now, and I'm trying to do as much as possible whenever I can do the work. So I'm not going to be in as many summer markets this year. I know a lot of you in Calgary do follow me to the summer market, so please don't be shy. I do have tons of stock in my house, but I'm probably only going to go to Millerville and Bears Paw 3 times this summer, just to kind of keep my foot in the door, to make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing. But my main focus right now is growing my YouTube channel and focusing on my husband, who had colon cancer last year. He got diagnosed, and then he had his first surgery was in May. That went terribly wrong, and he ended up aspirating vomit and ended up in the ICU in a coma, which was horrible. And then he had a stoma bag on his side for months while the sections that they had taken out for the cancer healed. And then on February 6th, they had to put him back together. And then, of course, you're supposed to be able to go to the washroom like a normal person again. And that did not happen. So he had the surgery. It looked like things were going okay. And then he came home, and he had a perforated bowel. So his stomach was freaking huge. I had to call an ambulance for him. It was a nightmare. And then he got in, and they did emergency surgery for that. And then it didn't go well. and then he ended up with a bowel obstruction, and then he ended up in the hospital, you know, from that stay. Like, I don't even remember how long he was in there for, a long time anyway, a couple of weeks. And then he came home and he was okay for about 4 days. And then one morning he woke up and his leg was all swollen up. And it turns out he had blood clots in his legs and pulmonary embolisms, big ones in his lungs. So lucky he didn't die again. So he's just got home. So the focus this year is going to be for me to focus on my YouTube channel, focus on the growth of that, and focus on getting myself into the big Christmas markets. And of course, because I'm in the big Christmas markets, I need to have enough stock to do that. And I'm currently about 3 months behind on production. And I fired my staff again, wah wah. Not because for the reasons I'll just tell you what happened. I hired a lady to do the sewing, the actual strips of my rugs. So all she had to do was sew a tube. So she came here and I trained her how to do it for multiple days and got her sewing the strips. I mean, it's just the tube of the rug. So it's, you know, the jelly roll sewn around the batting, and you just have to sew a straight line. So you miter the ends, you put the batting on top, you fold it in twice, you sew a tube. That's all she had to do. So she trained here for days. And then I was dropping off stuff for her and it was going really well for a while. And then I started to notice like some things were not going right. And I'm like, okay, why is my batting overlapped? That's not right. You could tell in the tube that the batting had been overlapped. So I had to like cut it open, you know, fix the bulk because it was like an obvious bulk in there. And she stopped responding to messages. And then one time she dropped off the tubes of the rugs and they all smelled like cigarette smoke. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, what are we doing here? And, you know, it was just like one thing after another. She kept saying, you know, the machine isn't working and I need a new machine. And anyways, long story short, I ended up having a chat with the granddaughter, and these folks were all from Ukraine. So the language barrier is there as well. But the granddaughter, I said to her one day, who's doing the sewing here? And she said, oh, grandma. And it wasn't the mom who I trained to do the sewing. So for a while, I did try to work with the grandma, but it was right in the middle of Christmas market season. So I didn't have that much time to work. And it was just like everything was snowballing, going wrong. And I had her send me videos of what she was doing, and she was actually pulling the fabric through on the machine, which was what was wrecking the machines. And then I'd drop over there to do a pickup, and she'd say, oh, I have no needles. And I'm like, well, why didn't somebody message me that you had no needles? I could have easily picked them up, but now it's like a snowstorm because we live in Canada and I'm going to be late for this market. So, you know, and then it was the machine was broke, and it just went on and on and on. And I had said to them, you know, you can't just take a job, get hired to do a job and then give it to somebody else. And then the what do they call that? The last straw was when they started texting me over and over and over again up until like 1 o'clock in the morning with all these excuses and this blubbering about why the grandma was sewing and the mom wasn't sewing and all the excuses and how I'd misunderstood. And I probably wouldn't have even pulled the work from them had it not been for all of these freaking text messages up until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it just went on and on. I'm like, I can't deal with this. So they all got fired, and now I have to do all of my production, is how it is right now. I probably will find somebody else to sew for me this year. But I typically only give them like one task to do because I find that the finishing is never the same unless I do it myself, which is fine. I'm happy to do it. But just to take some of the bulk of the pressure off. So the focus will be on Christmas markets. And then I know some of you are wondering, oh, she was in all these stores. Yes, I am in those stores, but I only have 2 stores that order wholesale and 2 stores that I just put soup bowl cozies in. And then typically that doesn't pull from the stands where I have my coordinated collections. Okay, so that's the business update for today. And I wanted to tell you guys that I did get some new spring fabric. I actually ordered 3 bolts of this because I thought this one is so dang pretty. I can't even believe how pretty this fabric is. So I did order 3 bolts of the flower fabric. So these soup bowl cozies will be for sale There'll be soup bowl cozy kits up on the website really shortly. My soup bowl cozies are $15 Canadian. I do ship to Canada and the United States typically. So you can go ahead and order them. The US dollar is much higher than ours right now. And while we're talking about the US, you guys need to contact your representatives. And if you don't think that what's going on right now is acceptable as far as the tariffs and Canada and the United States fighting, please contact your representative and say something. So I'm going to say this in every video. I have a lot of people that will scold me for bringing politics into business, and I say to them, nay, nay. My parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, great-grandparents, all of those people did not go to wars so that we could sit in our comfortable homes, and the only time we went outside was to stick our head in a sandbox. I am not a fan of what is going on right now. I'm going to be very vocal about it going forward. So if you don't think it's cool, the only thing we can do, and the right thing to do, is to start contacting your local representatives and say, hey, you guys, like, knock it off. Okay, so now the fun stuff. You saw the spin to win wheel. If you haven't been here before, I'm going to tell you the rules first. Actually, I'll tell you the disclaimer first. YouTube is not involved in anything that I do on this channel. They don't care. They don't police it. They don't enforce it. There'll be a link to community guidelines in the video description and the first comment. They're not affiliated. They don't promote anything I do. Whatever I do here on this channel as far as giveaways are concerned, you just got a hint, there's a giveaway if you're new here. They don't care. So play along with the rules. You don't have to be subscribed to the channel. It helps because you'll get notified, especially if you hit the bell button. You don't have to be subscribed. You don't have to make a purchase. I'm not going to email market you. You do have to leave a comment about, what should we leave a comment about? Maybe we'll do the comment for prayers for my husband again, just because he could actually use them, like legit. He's sitting upstairs on blood thinners, not feeling too good. He did get out of the hospital again, but you know, in 5 minutes he could go back. Okay, so I'm going to give away a set of 2 of these soup bowl cozies. Now, the rules are going to be, there's 1 comment per person, and the comments will line up with the spin to wheel number. The comment from 1 to 100 after the first comment, which is always going to be mine. I want you guys to get as many counts in as possible. So the actual people that comment on the video, from 1 to 100 comments, I will put those into the random wheel selector. We'll spin the wheel and we'll pick a winner, and you will have to be okay with me notifying you that you're going to win these soup bowl cozies, and then I'm going to send them to you, and there's no purchase necessary whatsoever. So that's just a fun way to get more views, to get people interacting with the channel. Ask a question, right? Ask a question in the comments, and we could build an actual community. Have you seen that guy, Mr. Beast? He built a massive community on YouTube, and now he does some fabulous things. Some of them not so fabulous, but you know, he does some fabulous things. So why could we not do that with sewing? I mean, I'm 50 now and we're not having enough fun in the world. So I'm bringing the fun. So you're going to win a set of these. There'll be 2. I have it right here. I just haven't finished sewing it yet because I have to go watch volleyball, you know? So there'll be a set of 2 of these given to the winner on the spin to wheel, and all the contest rules will be in the video description for you guys. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.